Hello everyone, today we are going to have a look at the pointless top 10 spiders in World of Warcraft. And I love spiders, I even have a pet tarantula here, Trinidad Chevron tarantula. And yeah, there are a lot of strange creatures in World of Warcraft, and today we're going to have a look at some of them.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists out of pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is Mother Smolderweb, and Mother Smolderweb is a spider located in the
spider,
lower
right?
Black Rock Spire. It's a bit of a
It's not out of flesh.
And she's notable for the Smolderweb hatchling, which now you just get from getting the Smolderweb egg, and it teaches you how to summon it, but back in the day you had to get the carrier, and then you kept it in your inventory, and it was kind of annoying. But that's not all. She's also mainly known for the Mother's Milk quest, which back in the day was quite the quest. So if you don't know, it was a quest where you had to go to this boss and poison yourself, and then go back to the quest giver who was like outside Blackrock Mountain.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
that was
he
something.
would, quote, milk you of the poison. And that was the quest, and pretty much nobody liked doing it. It was just really annoying. It was a dumb mechanic, and people memed it. They share it all over. Like when you're in a battleground and you haven't done it, they'll just share that quest because they know you haven't completed it. And then after the guy milks the poison out of you, he just uses it for making beer. Because he's like, what did you think I was going to do? Make poison or something? But
you know, it's like so crazy in World of Warcraft. Not just this guy that makes like beer with poison. I mean, that is very strange. But how does this spider produce poison when it's out of rock, right? Does it have like the model of like a spider that's just out of rock? Or maybe like the skin is rock, and under it maybe there are some organs and stuff. And maybe it can produce poison, I'm wrong, but it looks almost like an elemental spider, right?
But either way, Mother Smolderweb's actually a really cool spider, and if you read the dungeon journal entry, it says centuries ago, the Dark Iron Dwarves dug into the lair of Mother Smolderweb, releasing the massive arachnid into the spire's halls. Her brood has continued to swell in number since that time, so much so that even Blackhand's forces fear traveling through Smolderweb's domain. So pretty much the dwarves were digging, and then they're like, oh shit, we went too far, and then she's just there now. But overall, a pretty cool spider, and I think a pretty well-known spider, and that's why Mother Smolderweb is number 10. 9. Number 9 is Bezaleth, and Bezaleth is an orange-brown tarantula found in the Stone Talon Mountains, and if you've played...
is it the one that gives you the pet? I killed a spider that has the same skin, it gave me a pet. Oh wait, I think that was at the Elwyn Forest somewhere, right? And that's Stone Talon Mountain, so... No, it was another one, but it has the same skin. There's like one spider, it's somewhere at the Elwyn Forest that gives you a pet. It looks like that.
The Stone Talon Mountains. And if you've played Classic WoW at all, you've probably come across Bezaleth once or twice, because I've seen quite a few people die to Bezaleth in the death log. But if you're walking down the Stone Talon path, you'll see a sign that says like wanted or danger. There's a spider here, and you click it, and then there's an elite spider up in this spider area with all the spider webs and everything all over. And it's Bezaleth, cool, right? And the reason for that sign is Magran Earthbinder was once attacked by Bezaleth, but he escaped and placed a bounty on the spider. Outside of that, there's really no other lore. I mean, it's just some Tauren got attacked and was like, kill that spider, it tried to kill me. That's pretty much it. But I think Bezaleth is cool. I love the area that Bezaleth's actually in, with all the down trees and the spider webs all over and covering everything. I think it's pretty neat, and so that's why Bezaleth is number 9. 8. Number 8 are the green tarantula spiders, and these are the spiders that you see all over the place in the lower levels, and I think because of that, they're one of the most well-known spiders in World of Warcraft. I mean, in Hillsbrad, you see them where you have to do the Spider Ichor quest, which I've done quite a bit playing classic hardcore WoW at this point. There's in Teldrassil, they have them, in Stone Talon. I mean, they're really all over. And I included the old model and the new model. So I actually think the new model looks pretty cool, but I like the new model just for a little bit of nostalgia in there. But I like including a lot of generic creatures when I do these creature lists because, they deserve love too. A lot of people are like, the named ones, right? And the named ones are pretty cool for creatures, but a lot of times I think it's cool to appreciate a lot of the just generic creatures in World of Warcraft, because a lot of people run into the generic creatures more than they run into the named creatures. And so I think there is some sort of nostalgia factor with it. And that's kind of what Pointless Top 10 is all about, giving things that wouldn't normally be in the spotlight a little time to shine. And that's why the green tarantula spiders are number 8. 7. Number 7 is Beshal, and Beshal is a
Wait a
tarantula
second.
located in a cave near Fallhaven in Drustvar. If you go into its cave, there is an
I remember this. I was leveling a character, and there's like a chest. I think it's, what is it called? Suspicious chest or not suspicious or something. It has a very strange name. And if you approach it, suddenly there's like a giant spider all of a sudden. It actually really scared me. Like, I was shocked. Not because I'm scared of spiders. I even have a pet tarantula, so I'm not scared of spiders. But I was surprised because suddenly there's like a big mob out of nowhere that attacks me because I interacted with this chest.
obviously safe chest in
my
there.
gosh.
That's literally what it's called. And
Obviously
if you open
safe.
it,
Okay,
Beshal
that's the name. Not
spawns and
suspicious.
starts attacking you. However, that's not the only reason I put this on the list. The name Beshal is actually an anagram of Shelob, which is the monstrous spider from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. So an
the one
actual
that-
Lord of the Rings
that wet
reference here
Frodo?
in World of Warcraft, which is always appreciated. Aside from that, Beshal
That's the one that went through. And when I think about it, like, this was gray too, right? And that one was gray as well. Yo, that's cool. That's another Easter egg we just found here.
is always appreciated. Aside from that, Beshal is just a really big tarantula. But I like their cave a lot.
Sadly,
I
if
like
you
the
tame it, it
location of
gets
the cave.
small.
It's very aesthetically pleasing. And I thought I'd take this moment to share a little
Imagine
spider
having such
fact,
a large
which is
pet.
boa spiders use a long line of silk ended with a spot of sticky glue, swinging it at nearby moths to catch them, much like a fishing line. So there's actually a spider that can go fishing, but I guess it's not fishing. It's more
It's
like
moth catching.
mothing.
Or mothing, yeah.
So there you go. Spiders go mothing. And that's why Beshal is number 7.
Beshal, I like the name.
Number 6 are Bethelak and her lava spiders.
Firelands
Now,
boss.
Bethelak is the fire spider boss of the Firelands. And if you read her background in the adventure guide, it says, matriarch of the Cinderweb brood, Bethelak and her merciless offspring sate their appetites by sucking the magma and fire from the corpses of elementals. To provide her
Wow.
broodlings with added sustenance, Bethelak has woven a network of incendiary webs throughout her web to trap unsuspecting prey. Her
You know what's like interesting here? That's actually how spiders eat in real life, right? Like, not like, for example, like some reptiles like geckos that actually chew their food and swallow it. Like, what spiders do is they have some digestive fluids, right? And they actually, when they catch prey, be it an insect or small animal, they actually inject those fluids into the body of their victim, right? And it actually liquefies the victim and they suck it out, basically, right? Like, it's kind of like an external digestion or something, right? It's like then being just swallowed up. Like, it literally turns its prey into juice and just sucks it out. It's actually very terrifying when you think about it, right? Like, spiders, they don't eat. They just suck everything out. Ugh. Okay, I think that's the only thing that kind of like spooks me a bit about spiders. Is not their look, but the fact how they eat. This is kind of, right?
throughout her web to trap unsuspecting prey. Her fiery webs reach far
not how
overhead,
I would
daring
like
her
to be
adversaries
eaten.
to simultaneously face
I don't want
their
to get
fears
eaten,
of
though.
both spiders
I don't.
and heights. Only by taking hold of her webs and climbing into her domain yourself will you find a way to thwart her evil designs. But in the grand scheme of things here, I think it's just awesome that she sucks the magma and fire from the corpses of
Yeah, like a
elementals.
real
So she's
spider.
literally just a magma fire spider because she sucks it from the dead elemental. Like, that shit's crazy to me. That's super metal. I also relate this boss to
Wow.
Hotel Hell with Gordon
also
Ramsay.
really big.
I don't
It's a
know
big
why. I
boss.
watched one episode, and that was the only episode I watched. It just so happened to be while I was farming mounts in Firelands. But now I always think of Firelands, and I pair it with Gordon Ramsay, which is kind of fitting to be.
Firelands has actually was one of the locations with the best pets for hunters. There are some very, very cool spiders that you can tame there in all sorts of colors.
Honest. But that's why Bethelak is number 6. 5. Number 5 are the Death Web spiders. And these are a special breed of spiders living in Death Web Hollow in Talador. And the reason these spiders are so crazy is because their venom twists the very form of their victims.
What?
So in Warlords of Draenor, the Shadow Council, which is a group of mortal
So
warlocks
beautiful,
that
the green
serve the
spiders.
demons of the Burning Legion, became privy to this information and dispatched its warlocks to their lair to infuse these spiders with fell energy so that their venom now turned creatures into demonic minions.
Oh, I didn't
which,
know
I'm
that.
not gonna lie, I don't know how that works. They're just like, what if we just give them a little fell energy and then, their victims just become demonic minions? Like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, you know, it's crazy magic, and
So they don't eat them, they just turn them.
Like fell energy is this realistic thing. Like, I don't know. And the Draenei Tressia became one of their victims, being transformed into a Manari Eridar before being struck down by her former comrade. But I do really like the way these spiders look. They remind me of Infernals, but like, you know, put over a spider in a way.
Yeah, they have like a cool skin. If you guys like that skin, you can go to the Firelands actually, and there's one rare in the Firelands that can spawn that is green as well. So you can actually tame a green spider as a pet and have it on a hunter. There's a rare with that color in the Firelands. Yeah, they're really cool. I have 2 of them actually on my hunter.
Easy magic, and you know, I'm acting like fell energy is this realistic thing. Like, I don't know. And the Draenei Tressia became one of their victims, being transformed into a Manari Eridar before being struck down by her former comrade. But I do really like the way these spiders look. They remind me of Infernals, but like, you know, put over a spider in a way. Which, I mean, makes sense. They're injected with fell energy, but I love the green in their legs, and then they just have the glowing green eyes, and then their area is really cool too with all the cobwebs, and it reminds me of Stone Talon a bit, but almost like upgraded because it's Warlords of Draenor and the graphics got better. But I think these are really cool spiders, and that's why the Deathweb spiders are
most
number 5.
Definitely, most definitely.
Number
like
4 are the Rivenwood Widow spiders, and these are pretty much just big black widow spiders that are in the Howling Fjord.
That's actually,
and I don't know.
Like, one thing that actually creeped me about these zones is it wasn't even like the spiders, but like their prey, how it's like in the web and constantly moving. And there's like some mystery to it, because I think there's some hostile, like, I don't know what's inside, but I think there's some wild creatures as well, like hostile mobs. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually free them, and sometimes they attack you after you free them. But yo, those like webbed victims, they are, I think, more spooky and weird than the spiders.
I love the
because you don't know what's inside, right?
Not just the area like some mystery in, but just everything about this. So you have the Riven Widow cocoons, which are just a bunch of random mobs and creatures wiggling around in cocoons, which is always kind of creepy. You got to break them out for the quest. Just the way they
sometimes
walk around,
they attack you,
just nonchalantly, like, all right, just looking for our next prey. And then I think the area itself, right, with the purple mist, and you have the cobwebs on the trees, which we've had before, but I think the purple sky with the mist and everything,
gives you
and the
Halloween
pine trees
vibes
in the fjord really kind of sells this for me. Like, I always loved questing here and always felt a little creepy because of that aspect to it, like the fog and the mist all around, and you've got the mountains.
I was questing here on a Death Knight.
I don't know. I really enjoy everything about these spiders.
It was very fitting.
It's not like they're a named spider or something, right? But like I mentioned earlier in the video, that's what Pointless Top 10's all about. And sometimes something that makes the list is the sum of all its parts. And that's why the Rivenwood spiders are number 4. Number 3 is Mayexna, and Mayexna, as you probably know, is the third boss of the Arachne Quarter in Naxxramas. Mayexna
it's cool because you fight
on
the web
from the depths of Northrend's mountains many ages ago. She was captured with the Dread Citadel Naxxramas, where she gives birth to her brood. She feasts on those foolish enough to enter the necropolis, feeding her spawn with their corpses and producing spider after spider that Kel'Thuzad uses to his own foul ends.
There's like a nasty mechanic, if I remember. I think one player gets webbed and you have to free them or they die or something. I think it was, it was this kind of mechanic, if I remember correct. So you have to always look which group mate gets into the web, and you must free them immediately.
Spider that Kel'Thuzad uses to his own foul ends. And I really put Mayexna on this list because she's probably one of the spiders
face,
I think of most when I think of
claws.
spider bosses in World of Warcraft. Like, I always just think of fighting Mayexna on that big web floor, which I think is really cool. Fighting on the web is always fun, and then she webs someone up, and you got to go break them out of the web. Mayexna is also just really cool looking to me. She's got the red and the yellow and the black all together. I think it's a nice combination. And I realized that a lot of times I'm just like, I think this thing looks cool, so that's why I put it on the list. But really, I mean, that's like any list, right? You're like, I think this thing's cool. So I may repeat myself numerous times, but I don't know, I got nothing. That's why Mayexna is number 3. Ooh. Number 2 are the ice spiders in the ice spider cave in Dragonflight. And this is one that I've seen shown around all over the internet, and people are like, oh god.
Can I actually tame this on a hunter?
I do not want to go into this cave ever. But I remember when I was thinking of this list, I was like, I need to put this on the list because I think it's so cool looking.
Can you actually have this as a pet on the hunter? I have to go there with the hunter and see if I can tame them. I'm not sure. Because currently I'm not playing much on my hunter. I do play a bit on it, but I'm not on my warlock these days. Yeah, I have to try to see if I can tame one of them because they have such a cool skin.
Unless you're deathly afraid of spiders, in which case you're probably freaking out. But the main point of this cave is actually that Alia Sunsore, which is this blood elf girl, tries to recover an artifact so that it doesn't fall into the Sundered Flame's hands. But then she ends up getting corrupted by the artifact, and then you have to destroy it. And you end up killing her, but the book then like frees all these souls, so the artifact's like holding souls, and they're all like, yeah, we're free after you destroy it. So that's the main quest, summed up very poorly. But this cave is just...
Like, what thing is also weird in this cave, if you actually enter it, you would expect that those spiders attack you. Like, the first time I entered here, I was like, oh my gosh, I will have a big fight, they're all gonna attack me or something. But you just walk around and they're like above you, they do nothing, they don't attack you. They're just like decoration there, right? So I was like I was at first like on like alert, right? Like, oh, I have to fight now immediately. But nothing happens, they didn't come down. So yeah, this is very creepy because there's so many. Imagine you have to fight them all at once.
Truly one of the craziest spider areas in World of Warcraft at this point. But I just love the aesthetic of this place, man. Like, the spiders themselves look kind of cool. They've got like ice bone limbs or whatever, and they're hanging by their whatever it's called, spider web,
like elementals,
things that are gyrating. They're moving. I don't know what they're doing. I had to put this on the list, and I was like, you know what? This deserves to be pretty high up on the list, and that's why it's number 2. And number 1 is Taraka, and not only is the name amazing, because it's like, you know, Terracar Forest and Tarantula.
Those interesting
together,
green eyes, right?
But Taraka is a giant spider found at the southern part of Netherweb Ridge in Terracar Forest. Its size is comparable to Mayexna from Naxxramas. So this is literally a raid boss size spider just chilling in a zone. You know, and obviously it is part of a quest where Vindicator Halen wants Taraka dead, but man, it is creepy when you're going through this zone and then all of a sudden you just come across this massive tarantula. But I always remember doing the quest here where you had to free the people from the cocoons, kind of like the Rivenwood spider one, but I guess this happened in Burning Crusade, which was before the Rivenwood ones. And when I was reading the Wowhead comments on this, there is somebody that said the mob is a tip of the hat to EverQuest. There was a huge desert spider named Terrorantula that was the bane of Lobies when the game first came out. So this could be a little bit of a mix of that, right? Terrorantula.
It's very similar, yes.
A fun way to blend the zone name in with the spider and at the same time give a little tip of the hat to EverQuest, maybe. And funnily enough, you can actually tame Taraka, but it becomes a very small spider, so you just have a mini version.
This is the issue with all pets. Like, you can tame a freaking T-Rex in WoW, right? Like, you go to those giant dinosaurs, like, you can tame them, and then they become suddenly so tiny. Like, what the heck? I tamed this giant dinosaur. Why is it so small suddenly? But yeah, that's the issue with like most of the pets for hunters. Like, everything turns into a small version of itself.
As a pet. But to me, this is just number 1 because of the shock factor as well, right? It's just you're flying around, you're walking around, and then all of a sudden a giant-ass spider just renders in out of nowhere.
Where did you come from?
Like, whoa. And so that's why Taraka is number 1. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. Make sure...
Wow. But hey, there's something he forgot. Well, like at Blackrock Mountain, right? Where was the magma tarantula? There are some cool magma tarantulas there too. And there's like one rare. And I actually tamed this on a hunter. There's like a very cool magma tarantula skin. He forgot about it, I think. Because you were at Black Rock, right? It was like the rock sort of spider was shown that the Dark Iron Dwarfs freed by digging, right? But where was the magma one? There's a very unique skin there as well. Maybe he just forgot it. But yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. And just watching this makes me want to go back now to some of those spots and actually tame some of the spiders I've not tamed yet. But I'm running out of actually slots for pets on my hunter because I've tamed so much. So I don't know, maybe I will just tame 1 or 2 of those shown here that I don't have already. Let's see. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time.